Hearing that you're not going to walk again is probably when you brings it all home that how serious it is. I lived a fairly adventurous lifestyle. I grew up in Cork Harbour, so I learned how to sail, scuba dive and surf. So I formed a lot of friends around those activities. I decided that I wanted to try a career at sea, and I did marine engineering in college in Ringaskiddy, and I guess it just went from there really. I spent 4 years in college, and I had spent 6 months in the Caribbean, and I'd sailed across the Atlantic and in the Med and up around Iceland and Norway and stuff. So I was excited about my life and where I was going, and yeah, I was out with some friends, and on the way home I was going back to another friend's house and I was going to stay the night there, and we were walking along the road and I saw a tree, and I decided it would be a good idea to climb the tree. And the moment I hit the ground is when I kind of realised this was bad. I couldn't feel anything anywhere really, and I couldn't move anything, so I knew straight away that it was bad. The ambulance came and to the site and brought me to CUH, and where they just did x-rays and just tried to figure out the extent of the damage, and they realised I was quite severe, and I was brought to the Mater Hospital in Dublin then in an ambulance, where they did the surgery on my leg and on my neck. They put in like metal scaffolding in my neck and have a bar going through my femur as well, so I'm back together again.
Following 8 months of intensive rehab in both Dublin and Barcelona, Nathan returned to Cork. He started going to the Elite Gym, nestled in the Marina Commercial Park. The gym is run by world champion kickboxer Colin O'Shaughnessy and caters for a wide range of clients, from those who simply want to increase their fitness levels, to world champion athletes, to weightlifting competitors. Its holistic approach and state-of-the-art equipment isn't all. There is something else truly unique about the Elite Gym, as owner Colin explains.
It's the only gym in the world that actually has it. The other suits around the world are in treatment centres and in hospitals, but we're the only open facility, the only open gym that actually has one.
100 metres, take it home, Lisa.
When you training me, you go alone, okay?
90 metres.
It's much more open. The people find it a little, they're not kind of under a floodlight or a spotlight, and they're special, you know. They come into the gym, they train like everybody else, and that mental side is a huge advantage. A lot of people tell us how they feel very, very welcome here. They feel very normal. A lot of people have serious injuries and they're treated kind of differently for most of their life. They come in here, they work hard, they get a bit of slagging, they get a bit of abuse, not if they don't work hard enough, but they feel like a normal person when they're here, and that's a huge advantage. They're very happy with that.
So we got Lazarus in December 2014, so we have it nearly 8 or 9 months now. So I've been using it 2 or 3 days a week ever since. I've noticed some good benefits. My breathing has got better, my core has gotten much stronger, muscles in my legs have gotten better, I've gotten stronger, so there's a lot of physical benefits as well as the mental benefits of just standing up and being tall and looking across the room at your own height. How it walks is there's 4 motors, 1 on each hip, 1 on each knee. And there's a lot of sensors throughout the foot, in the legs of the exoskeleton and around the torso, and between the sensors and the motors, the computer in the backpack it knows when to take a step. So when I put my weight on my left leg, my right leg will take a step, and when I put my weight on my right leg, my left leg will take a step. So it's quite simple really, but you know, it works, and it works well.
It comes from California in America. We got it through a company called Rolling Ball in Dublin, who work on getting these machines into treatment centres and plants, whatever. and we met a woman called Jane Evans, and she is kind of leading in getting, she really wanted to get one in the gym because she knows they go to hospitals, and she really wanted to be in a much more open place. So we kind of met up together through Nathan, and that's how we got it here.
The exoskeleton was originally developed as the Hulk, the Human Universal Load Carrier. It was designed to assist the US military in carrying heavy loads while preventing physical injury. In 2012, Exobionics unveiled their first commercialised robotic exoskeleton for use in a clinical environment. In recent years, it has found its way to our shores. I was curious to find out more, so I decided to hit the road and headed to the National Rehabilitation Hospital in Dunleary to meet with Jane Evans. Through rollingball.ie, Jane was responsible for bringing the Lokomat, another automated robotic device, to the NRH in 2007.
My early days in setting up Rolling Ball focused very much on acute hospital rehab, so places like the NRH and St Patrick's Hospital in Cashel. But it became evident to me very quickly from the calls I was getting from people that really, most of the people who need access to equipment for rehabilitation are not in hospitals, they're at home. And having spent several months in rehab and in acute hospitals, the last place they want to go is a hospital. So I started looking at different types of devices, and I came across the Exobionic suit, which is in use by Nathan. Also was the first one introduced to Ireland was by Mark Pollock, and in fact he had it before I became involved, so he was the introducer. My objective now is really to try and bring Ireland into contact with high profile devices that can really change people's lives, whether they're in the acute hospital setting or they're actually all the way out to the gym. One of the major problems I'm finding is finance, and we all accept that finance is a problem. But this equipment can actually make a very big difference to people's lives. So, for instance, for people like Nathan, it's a very, very positive part of his day. And because his exoskeleton is based in a gym, it's also a very important contact base for him with friends and people who are doing positive, extraordinary things. Some of the people in that gym are world-class athletes, and he's exercising alongside of them. So that's a really motivating environment to be in. Compare and contrast that with being sent to a rehabilitation centre or into a community physio, where it's kind of a healthcare environment, and I really want to move into having community accessible services.
This is Shannon from Dublin, a regular gym goer and user of Lazarus. She tells me why it's important to have access to the exoskeleton in a mainstream environment.
I think it's important to be in like a gym environment rather than a clinic, or you want to come to it instead of going to a clinic.
This is Jamie from West Cork, a former GAA hurling champion and avid Springsteen fan. Like other users of Lazarus at the Elite Gym, he hopes that the Exo will become a permanent resident at the gym, given its proximity to home.
Hopefully we can push on now and, keep the Exo here in Cork. It's massive to have it so close to home.
Lifelong standing is what we recommend, and we provide them with the right frames and the right equipment to do that at home. And the evidence has shown that that's linked with improved quality of life, better bowel and bladder function, less pain, but it's looking like the exoskeleton walking and regular usage of it is, the effects are far easier to achieve with that than they are with just static standing. And the other problem is people don't stand because it's boring, because you're just standing in a limited frame in the same spot, and it's hard to work it into your daily life. Whereas if you can move around and interact with your environment, which is after all what our limbs are for, then suddenly it becomes a much more meaningful experience and a much more meaningful process to stand, and you find people's compliance then will improve as well. So cure wise, it's not a cure. It's very much not a cure, unfortunately. But it is reversing some of the impairments.
The 2006 CSO figures on the number of wheelchair users in Ireland are outdated, to say the least. It got me thinking though, how many Exobionic suits do we need in Ireland?
Well, obviously you get better economies of scale if you can purchase all at one time, but at the moment they're coming in one by ones, and we have 3 exoskeletons working in the country now. I would hope that over the next 2 years to 3 years we'd get that up to 17. that would at least give an opportunity for people to be in and around 20 minutes distant from a system.
So we needed €150,000. That was the bottom line if we wanted to keep the exoskeleton here. So we had to fundraise. So we established a charity called Helpful Steps, and bit by bit we're getting closer and closer to earning or to raising the money to keep it here for everyone to use.
Nathan, along with Helpful Steps, has been working tirelessly in raising awareness and the much needed €150,000 to keep the exoskeleton at the gym. Lazarus has been out and about making a few cameos at various fundraisers in and around Cork. At a recent Cork City Sports athletics event in CIT, Nathan made this impassioned plea to the public.
This exoskeleton means a lot, not just to me but to many. So €150,000 is a lot of money, so we're just hoping that we'll try and get all of it by October. We're doing pretty good at the moment, but any help you can give from here on in would be greatly appreciated.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you show your appreciation for this fantastic man, Mr. Nathan Furlan, 26 years of age from Carrigaline. If you want more information on the exoskeleton, Google helpfulsteps.ie. All the fundraising methods are there.
I kind of did a bit of research, and to do a marathon you'd take 55,000 steps. So I decided that in order to raise money we'd ask people for €2 per step for 55,000 steps. At first I was going to do it alone, but a lot of people are coming to use it, so they all wanted their steps to count towards it. It's their exoskeleton as well, it's not mine, so everyone's steps are counting towards it. It's a team effort now at this stage, and that's what it's about. It's about getting people up and moving and walking, and just showing people and encouraging other wheelchair users to come down and show them this is available. If you want it to be part of your life, you can come down and you can use it. comes from. I guess probably I've got a fairly positive family and kind of been influenced by them. When you see all the good things that people have done for you, it's kind of hard not to be positive about it. I mean, honestly, there's going to be some hard days as well, but overall, when you get the encouragement that I've got, you know, it's easier to stay positive. When you're noticing small improvements all the time, that's probably what gives you determination to keep going.